Hey guys. So I've been thinking about this the past couple days. So in Tears of the Kingdom, we see Rauru in the beginning of the game, and he's a spirit, and he kind of says his words to us at the very end, just as we're about to dive into Hyrule. And he kind of disappears. We assume he goes to the afterlife. We see him again at the end of the game, um, and this time he's with Sonya. And after we do our thing, they disappear once again to the afterlife. Minoru says that she can rejoin Rauru and the others. She goes to the afterlife, meaning they clearly have knowledge about this afterlife. So if there is this afterlife, what is it like? Um, I believe that the pose in Tears of the Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken, that you hand them in for exchange for goods, but the statues and everything you're handing them into are like shepherds. They're helping these Poes to the other side. That's their purpose, is to help them to the other side, because these Poes that you're collecting are spirits who are pretty much trapped in the or have gotten away or refused to leave or whatever, and they kind of shepherd them to the other side. So what is the land of death like in the Legend of Zelda? So off the top of my head, you have the Shinigami realm, the realm of death in Death Note. And we have World of Warcraft and Shadowlands, which is their world of death. You die, you go to the Shadowlands. Depending on what you were like in life, you can go to several different places. We see a few of them, Maldraxxus, um, places like that. I was about to say Hollow Bastion. This isn't Kingdom Hearts. It could be. Um, Bastion, different places. Like there's more worlds, but we just get to explore a very small chunk of them. Um, you have the Pure Lands in Naruto, which is kind of like a giant battery almost for them. Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths, basically the god of shinobi, uses this infinite battery power to kind of bring himself back temporarily into the living world to help out Naruto and Sasuke, to give them each a portion of his power. Um, we hear I was about to say Hagoromo, but I'm not thinking about Hagoromo. Minato, we hear him kind of say, to Naruto that he'll tell Kushina everything, meaning once he goes to the afterlife, he's going to see her. So is that the same for the Zelda universe? And if so, how would we get there? Because there's always got to, no matter what, especially in anime and video games, there always seems to be a way into the world and the land of death. Um, Now, what purpose would we have to go there? I don't know. Maybe some ancient knowledge that's only being provided by the inhabitants there, old kings, old. I mean, if it was me, and I had a really important anniversary coming up, say maybe a 50-year anniversary or a 100-year anniversary. I certainly hope Zelda's around in 100, for 100 years. That would be amazing. But wouldn't it be amazing to have an anniversary game where you go to the land of death in the Zelda universe and you see all the past heroes from Skyward Sword Link? You see him, you see the hero of time, you see the hero of winds, you see the hero of the wilds, you see all the incarnations of Zelda, maybe her Grace herself, Goddess Hylia. Hmm? The previous kings, you would see Sonya and Rauru and Minoru would be there. All the sages. Dun, 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 dun. When people refuse, don't believe that I'm a Zelda fan. I've had that for a very long time. Um, but that would be me. If I was to make a Zelda game and it was an anniversary, I would incorporate some kind of exploration and some kind of land of death, some way to get there, for some knowledge that has been lost to time that only some people there know. Um, you know, if there's multiple incarnations of Link and Zelda and all of them there, maybe somehow in the land of death, multiple incarnations of Ganondorf somehow meet each other and they find a way to escape it. And now we've got multiple Ganondorfs on the loose. Think of Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf. Look how strong he was. Imagine if he was to merge with other versions of himself. It'd be like a Master Xehanort kind of thing, where you have different Xehanorts over different periods of time all merging into one. Be pretty bad. And I think that would take the strength of multiple Zeldas and Links to defeat. But that's just off the top. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm just kind of throwing ideas out there. But what would the afterlife be like? You know, hell, you have animes. You look at Yu Yu Hakusho. You have different afterlives that you can go to, different paths depending on you see different pathways, like literal pathways leading to a paradise, or we see with Toguro, we see him basically getting stuck in purgatory, um, or limbo or whatever it was. He says limbo, but I think it was either hell or purgatory, whatever it was. But you see this door and it's red and the door's like falling apart and you can tell nothing good is behind that door. You see Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball in general, you see their afterlife, you see heaven, you see hell. Um, and for the most part, you see these things and people just seem to have other lives. It doesn't seem like their lives really end after they die. They just kind of they go somewhere, they get judged, and then they're off, whether it be the Shadowlands or in Dragon Ball Z, Heaven and Hell, or Yu Yu Hakusho and the different paths that they can take. Um, Now, is there Heaven and Hell for the Zelda universe? Um, I don't know. I don't think it's ever been explicitly stated that there is a heaven or hell. I mean, we know that there is an afterlife. We know there's an afterlife. We hear them talk about the afterlife, about, seeing, we know about spirits. Look at the in Twilight Princess, the skeletal figure that we meet, that's the hero of time, Link. So he kind of lingers around because he feels regret not being able to pass on what he knew. And then once, he's able to teach us everything, he moves on to the next life. Um, so if we did go to the afterlife, we wouldn't see him in his like skeletal form. We would see him as he was, as the hero of time. So, what would be there? Do you think it'd be like a mirror of Hyrule? Would it be its own world in and of itself? Different places to explore. Um, do you think things would kind of keep to the laws of physics, or do you think, you know, logic doesn't apply there? Um, I mean, just in the Zelda, just in like Tears of the Kingdom and Zelda in general, you've got islands floating in the sky, and so, um, and like I said, if we did go there, what would the purpose be? Would it be to stop some great threat? Maybe the return of Demise. Maybe Demise comes back, and I mean, say someone gets the Triforce. You know, could they wish back Demise? Some evil-hearted person. Could they wish back the start of everything? I mean, I think if the Triforce could be used to destroy itself, I'm pretty sure it could revive the dead. And for A Link Between Worlds. Uh, Hilda and then that side kind of use the Triforce to destroy itself. They kind of wish for it to destroy itself and to disappear. But then once it's gone, they find that, oh boy, we made a huge mistake, and that's why they try to invade Hyrule, because then they want our Triforce because they got rid of theirs. Um, so I think if a Triforce can be used to wish back an entire realm, or an entire Triforce, another complete divine relic, it could possibly be used to revive the Demon King. Um, and if so, and if he met and he was working together with other, Ganondorf and other incarnations of Ganondorf, I'd say that'd be a reason to have multiple links. Um, Again, it's completely far fetched, and it's just, that's like complete fanfic right there. But I could see that being a reason why we would travel to the land of the dead in the Zelda universe. Um, but yeah, it was just something I had on my mind lately because I was thinking about, with like Rauru and him, Sonya disappearing and Minoru saying that she can rejoin Rauru. So there's clearly an afterlife. We know that the statues are shepherding the Poe spirits to the other side. It's not like when we give it to them, they just like, nom, nom, nom. No, we're collecting the souls for them to, you know, take to the other side. And in exchange, they're giving us a variety of goods. It's like, hey, you've helped me collect these souls because I clearly can't do it. So in exchange for collecting this many souls, I will give you something in return. Um, so we know that spirits can be good, can be bad. Um, is there heaven? Is there a hell? Where Rauru and Sonya and the sages and Lynx and Zeldas, where they're at, would there be Ganondorfs there, or because they're evil incarnate, are they sent somewhere completely different? So is there a heaven and hell? Is there like a World of Warcraft or like a Yu Yu Hakusho thing where they're sent to different destinations depending on where they were and how they were in life, and they're all basically cut off from each other for the most part. Um, I mean, I would imagine it would probably be something. They draw a lot of inspiration from Japanese culture, so I would assume that there might be some Japanese inspired um, influence to this whole thing. Uh, like yokai, spirits have power like the kitsune and the kappa and stuff like that. Um, which we have seen yokai as, like I said, a kitsune. We see that with the Keaton in Majora's Mask. He's a fox spirit. That's one of the yokai, uh, spiritual beings with immense power and stuff like that. Um, so it just kind of makes me wonder, would we ever have a reason to go to the land of death? Because I mean, Hyrule is fun and all, but it seems like we're stuck in Hyrule all the time. We've only had very few games in the span of Zelda's existence as a game. We've only been out of Hyrule a couple of times. We've had Termina, we've had Labrana and Holodrum. So, Poland Island for Link's Awakening, uh, Labrana and Holodrum for Oracle of Ages and Seasons, Termina for Majora's Mask. What are the four swords? I think it takes four swords. Four swords. One of them, I think, it takes place outside of Hyrule. One of them. We don't consider the CDI games because they weren't made by Nintendo. They may have Zelda in the title and Link and Zelda and Ganon, but they're not Zelda games. So, um, so very few games take place outside of Hyrule. So would it be possible to not only go to someplace besides Hyrule, but to the land of death itself? We've traveled above into the sky, we've gone below the sea. We've traveled to the sacred realm, we've traveled to the silent realm, which people are debating whether its silent realm is the sacred realm. Um, would it be possible to travel to the realm of death? And if so, what would we find? And if so, do you think that would make a really good anniversary game? Because if we're in the land of death, we have all the heroes there. It'd be like the MCU. Have a bunch of crossovers. Imagine the very first hero, the hero of the skies, working together with the hero of time and the hero of winds. That would just be so cool. Um, but anyway, yeah, it's just something I was thinking about. I know there's been death type things incorporated into the games, but we've never actually really gone to the land of death, you know, where we have all these spirits and all that crap. Just something I was wondering. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.